Okay, guys, today's story, if you've ever seen the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas, if you haven't, a quick synopsis. It's a guy that basically is trying to live in this modern society and just finally snaps. You know, he must not have been quite right all along, but he finally snaps. And every place he goes that day, there's just a trail of destruction and chaos. And today's story is the female equivalent of Falling Down. It is the story of a woman who wasn't quite right all along, but finally snaps. And she goes on a spree of destruction one day. And every place that she goes, terror ensues. Her name, Laurie Dann. Yeah, it's a wild one. So stay tuned. Yo, 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 yo.
Hey guys,
What's up?
welcome to our podcast, Two Peas and a Crime Pod.
Episode 45.
We're so glad you stopped by. We hope you'll consider subscribing or liking the video if you like the content. And also, don't be shy. Leave us a comment.
Leave us a comment. Don't be shy. Leave us a comment. Be that guy.
She has a jingle for everything.
Something's wrong with my brain, guys.
No, it's great.
It's not.
We love it.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be here today with you. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Courtney. It says so on my cup so that I don't forget. And that's my mama, Kelly.
It says bubbly on my pop.
Your cup's over there.
I am
says
bubbly.
Kelly. She bubbly.
I'm forgoing the coffee. I've had enough.
I'll drink yours. If you were returning and you're already a subscriber, chef's kiss, I love you.
Now I'm going to have to turn that up because you went chef's kiss. I love you.
No, you won't, because my mic is hot as fuck. And sometimes, you know, it's okay to have tonality. Sometimes in music, it's marked triple P, piano, 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 because it's supposed to be quiet.
It's not going to show up.
It's marked forte because it's loud.
It's not going to show up, and you
Because
bitched about it.
Because you keep doing the fucking EQ that I hate.
It's not the EQ that makes your voice not show up. It's you.
It's the weird microphone that like never wanted to work. I don't know why.
It's because you talk like this all of a sudden.
It's mine. My gain will be turned all the way up to 9, and yours will be on fucking 5, and it'll be like I was in a different room, and yours will be like you're screaming into the mic. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I think Christopher sabotages us.
We talk different.
I think Christopher sabotages us.
Christopher is not sabotaging us.
He's the saboteur.
He got up early this morning to hook our stuff up for us.
Well, if he would just teach me how to do it, he wouldn't have to do that.
Together.
But whatever. What does he want, a fucking round of applause for waking up during the daytime? Sorry. I'm kind of a bitch mood today, I guess.
How are you today?
I'm great. Doing great. There's a new development in my life.
Tell me.
So, mom and loyal viewers, I have had a crush on a person for...
Is it official?
Years and years and years. Like 3 years. I'm playing with your flip-flop under the table with my sock on, by the way.
Okay.
It feels good.
That's weird. Don't you stretch my favorite
Between my
flip-flops
toes.
out.
Shut up. Anyways, I've had a crush on this person for 3 years, and they've seemed very much like not interested. Which actually to me this whole time I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't be interested in me either. I have this mental thing where if you're respectable enough and like mature enough and responsible enough and kind of like if you meet the criteria of someone that I would like consider dating, once you meet that bar and go past it, I'm like, oh, well now I would never date you because you're like such a great human being. I wouldn't subject you to my life. Like, why would I do that to you?
Oh,
It's this weird thing I do. Yeah, Liz said that it's that I should discuss that more in counseling, and that that's a very weird thing to say out loud. She looked at me like deeply like upset when I said that. My friend that's my best friend that's also a psychologist. To me it just makes sense. That's like me being self-aware. But the only people that I think like, yeah, I should like date you, like that makes sense, are people that are below my standards, but then I'm like immediately annoyed because you're below my standards. So it
right.
never like it just
You are
it
self-sabotaging.
never makes any sense, right? So anyways, I've liked this guy for like 3 years and it's just been very clear like we're just friends, which is great. Which is like I was not complaining about that because solid person to have is in your life as a friend, right? And um I would like try to say something flirty or we should hang out and it would just like kind of just be dismissed or shut down and I was like, "Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. All right." Finally recently we were chatting and he was just like, "Yeah, like I just have, it's funny like I just always felt like you and I were like soulmates who just met at the wrong time." And I was like, "You can't just say something like that. Go on, explain further. What does that mean? I am over here loving you from afar. You're the one acting not interested. The fuck you mean we're soulmates?" That's cute shit to say to someone. Don't say cute shit to me. So we're finally on the same page. And,
This is great.
we'll see how it goes. I'll ruin it like I ruin everything. So
I feel happy for you because
I'll report
I
back in a couple weeks
know
when I
he
ruin it.
loves your children.
He does love my children. Oh, that's another thing is that I know him because he's someone that's been taking care of my kids for. He's been taking care of my kids for longer than I've had a crush on him because the kids knew him before I knew him. So he's been taking care of the kids for like 5 years, maybe. And then I met him. I've like heard about this person over and over again. This name is like a common name in our household. And finally I met him and then we got to work together. And that's when I was like, "You're kind of precious and I kind of love you and adore you."
Oh,
And so,
thank God he doesn't work on a ship.
thank God he's not on a cruise. Mom, I was never going to marry one of the guys from the cruise. That's not what it was about.
Okay, it was just how Stella got her groove back.
Yeah, it was just for funsies. I get bored and I just act out.
36, play with dicks.
It changes every time we say it. It's just a six and dicks that's the only thing that stays. Yeah, no, I just every once in a while I just sit at home and I just like remember in the opening scene of Castlevania when um Richter, is that his
Mhm.
name? When Richter comes upon Dracula and Dracula's sitting in his like throne and
Yes.
he's like, "Ugh," and he throws down his wine glass on the floor and just breaks it in his own home, like Red Weinstein doesn't care.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm sitting at home and I am both Richter and Dracula simultaneously. And I come upon myself, the good part of me that's like, "Courtney, stay focused and stay on track and do good for goodness sake," which is Christmassy. It wasn't meant to be. But then there's like the other, like, the other wolf inside of me, which is like the evil, like, ha ha ha. And I come upon myself and I'm like, "Courtney, don't." And then I just like throw down my wine glass and I'm like, "I'm bored of this provincial life. And I need to have a little fun." And I'm like, let's see if I could fuck a guy from a cruise ship that I met. And then check that off the bucket list because I got bored one day. Like I get bored.
Okay.
Do you people not do that? You don't do that. Like, let's just see if I could. Like some people are like, "I wonder if I could run a marathon. Let's sign up for one and see if I could." I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna like throw out some thirst traps and see what I can snag.
That's very honest of you. I don't know if you should share it with the world,
I
but
don't care. I don't care. I have nothing to hide.
okay. Well, I love you for that. I love that about you.
My life is
I hide everything.
my life is an open book, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, no, sometimes I do just be getting bored because, like, it's been a while. I miss, like, flirting with someone, kissing someone, having, like, someone to look forward to texting. And I know it's not a thing. And I don't want it to be a thing either. Honestly, if they were like, actually, I love you, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. That's not what this was. Blech. You know,
Yes,
like an appetizer.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But
But
this new guy is the steak.
this is main course. Yes.
Okay.
This is front burner. This is main course material.
Okay.
This is, yes. This is not someone that you toy with. This isn't just for fun. This isn't because I'm bored.
I love it.
Yeah. I'll ruin it though. Like, I think I already said that though. That's what I do. But for now, it's still like.
Okay.
So he's coming over for dinner tonight.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
Okay. What are you making? Are you ordering?
I'm ordering pizza.
Okay.
It's very last minute. Maybe if I had known ahead of time that he was coming over. I think I have the ingredients to make quiche at home.
Oh, okay.
Nobody wants quiche for dinner.
You're on a
except for me.
quiche kick.
Well, I'm trying to lose weight, which, by the way, I just weighed myself.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly where I've been. No change. So, anyways, yeah, we were just back and forth about, like, what do you have going on this week? And he's got, like, a super busy week because he's a basketball coach. And so they have practices and then, like, tourneys all weekend. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, well, if you're not busy tonight, I might be able to stay. I was like, okay.
She's like, I will make time.
Yeah.
I'm clearing the schedule right now.
My schedule's a lot clearer than his. He has 2 jobs and he plays basketball for a league and then he coaches. I think he said they were freshmen.
What a great guy.
He is. He's a good one.
He is a good. I can see why you would think he wouldn't like you.
Thank you. I feel like that's such a valid, like, a real
I was
statement.
being sarcastic.
Oh. I thought you were like,
I was not commiserating with you.
I thought you were getting it.
No.
Nobody gets it.
You are wonderful. Your bar is up here for you. And most people should feel like she's too good for me.
I feel like I set an unproportionate bar. I'm like, you better have a job and your house better be clean. I have neither of those things going for me. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not. I don't have a job and my house isn't very clean, but I wouldn't, like, it's case by case. I'm not judgmental, but no, I don't know. I've always just felt like I always have this perpetual amount of drama in my life that I don't want, that somehow I am constantly swept up in.
That's life.
And I'm just like, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to put anybody through this, especially people who have, like, really solid family situations. I'm like, no, I don't want to explain my family situation to you. It's better now
Just
than it has
don't.
been. But
You don't have to explain anything to anybody.
until the first time that I get a random call about some random thing at some random time of the day and it's somebody fucking crying or dying or lying or. And I'm like, oh, this is my family and this will actually happen quite often.
Okay.
So now you know. And I hope that doesn't bother you. Because now I'm either going to be crying also, or in a bad mood, or threatening to kick the shit out of someone, or someone's home health aide for the next however long. And yeah. You know I'm not wrong. But you're right. That probably is just life, and people probably understand that. But
I think so. Especially somebody like him, if he's like a coach and into taking care of people like kids, he will see you as a challenge or a project that he can get his hands into and be there for you and help you through these obstacles of your life.
maybe. Yeah, that's what I hope he wants. I hope he wants a challenge. I am challenging. No, I've often said this like out loud to many people. I might even have said it on the podcast before. I don't like my life. I wouldn't sign up for this life if I could like out of body and like be like, would you like to go back into that life or would you like to try another one? Try another one. So why the fuck would I like want to date someone and invite them into a life that I don't even want? That's just cruel and unusual, you know? So I have to love you and also hate you just a little. I have to be like, you're really wonderful and you're good enough to date, but also fuck you just a little. And now you're along for this shitty ride of mine.
Aw. I don't know. You're very considerate. Like, I've never thought about those things.
Ah.
And I have even more reason to think about them than you do.
Oh.
It has never occurred to me that my shitty life could affect my significant others. They just go along for the ride. Men don't care. Men will spend $200,000 on a webcam chick.
On a whim.
If you watched our last episode 44, yeah, Grand Amato,
Yeah.
spending $250,000 on a webcam girl and thinks she's into him for real, and kills his whole family so he can spend more, so he can steal their money to spend more on this chick.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, men are, they're up for it. They don't care about your drama.
Men are quite literally ride or die. I'm riding with you or we're all gonna fucking die.
I've also never been like you. You've been single. I mean, like on your own, doing it yourself since your divorce, which was how long ago?
I had Rob. Rob
Well,
lived with me.
That was still
I
kind of
wasn't-
single. That was just another kid to take care of.
I was engaged, but I was still, yeah, like, let's be real. I was the one, like, doing the projects. And he helped me with that patio project, Mom. That one time.
Okay.
He did that thing. And he used to, like, draw baths for me. Baths.
Really?
Yeah,
My
and
whole
he cooked
opinion
for
of him
me.
has changed.
He cooked for me a lot, too. That was nice. It was nice to have, like, someone, like, I made you a meal. That was
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
There was good parts, or it wouldn't have lasted as long as it lasted. I wouldn't have said yes to being engaged if there wasn't good things, right?
But how long since your divorce? What year was you divorced?
Oh, I moved out in December of 2018, and then we were divorced in May of 2019.
Okay, so it's been like
Rob
7
moved
years.
in by like November of 2019, quickly. And then we were done by January of 2021. So it's been since 2021. So it's been 5 years, like literally 5 years and 2 months that I've been. And I've dated some people. And there's been some like really fucking awful stories. There's been some really wonderful stories. I've dated some really genuinely good people.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is,
I've lived alone. And
you've lived alone. You pay your own bills. It's all on you. You have to do the shopping, the cooking, the cleaning.
There's that one year that Doug paid for Christmas.
Child rearing. Your friends have been incredible.
Yeah,
You
there
have
was
some
that one year
incredible
Doug
friends.
was like, go to your car and get the envelope out of your car and then bring it inside. And I was like, what envelope? He was like, just do what I said. And then he gave me like $400 or $500 cash because I be damned if I don't pay my bills on time and get my mortgage, but it was Christmas and everything was due. And like, I paid everything and everything was paid off.
But there wasn't going to be
have
Christmas.
Christmas money. Yeah, I had no present money. And I was like, well, the kids get a fucking house and heat. Like, whatever. But he could tell that it bothered me. And so he gave me money for Christmas. But years later, when I got my promotion at UPS, and that was when the housing market went fucking berserk and tenants were like getting pushed out of their places because people were like, oh, I could charge $1,000 more for rent. And his landlord wanted to like sell his rental out from under him. It was a whole thing. It was he was being displaced. It was fucking terrible. And he had to move, and we didn't like the apartment he moved into. And I gave him some money. I paid him back then. And he was like, I told you I didn't want this back. And I was like, it wasn't a payment back. I wasn't paying you back. I was just being helpful to you. I was paying him back.
She was paying it forward
I never,
back to him.
I never forget. Nobody's got one on
It
me.
is very hard to help her because she doesn't like to accept help. She feels like she should be responsible to take care of everything on her own. So she hates to accept help from anybody.
And me and Doug weren't dating either. That was just a friend.
No, I know.
He was just being a good friend.
That's what I'm saying. He's just a good friend. You've had some really good friends along the way.
And Tim has been helpful to me. Tim has helped and offers. If I called Tim right now and was like, I can't pay my mortgage, he'd be like, oh, no problem. So.
No, I've never experienced that. I lived alone on my own for about 2 hours.
That's not true.
It is true.
Were at Grandma. You weren't dating people when we lived at Grandma.
I wasn't alone. I lived with my mom.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. You're right. I was thinking
it wasn't all on me.
But Grandma was not cleaning and cooking and.
I know, but I still didn't have to pay full rent or anything. I just paid I gave her $300 and that was everything. And
okay, that's okay.
I mean,
that's true.
I left your dad. We moved into Perry Hills. We moved all of our shit into Perry Hills Colony.
You unleft my dad.
We were there for about an
6
hour.
hours.
And I had a total breakdown, a panic attack. I had never been on my own before. How old was I? 27 and 26. And we went back and I begged Keith to let me come back. And he did. And that lasted a year. And then I moved in with my mom. Or no, that didn't last a year. It lasted 3 months. I got on medication after that. Because I was like, listen, I wanted to leave him. I had all my shit in the apartment. I had the apartment.
No, we were literally moved in. And then we went to sleep that night. And we were laying on a bed.
It was on the floor. It wasn't a bed. It was just a floor.
We were in the living room together.
It was like a little campsite.
And we were just laying there awake.
And I was like, guys, get in the car. We got to go.
No, you said, do you miss your dad?
Is that what I said?
I said, yeah, yes, I do. You were like, yeah. Would you want to go home? And I was like, yeah, yes. Is that an option? And you were like, me too. Let's go. And we left.
I knocked on the door and I was like, I can't do this.
We moved all the stuff back out of the apartment.
Keith did it all. He went the next day and got my deposit back and moved everything out back into. It wasn't like I took a bunch of things.
You didn't have.
We didn't have boxes. A lot, yeah. But I went to counseling and I said I tried to move. I tried to do it on my own. I could not do it. I had a total panic attack. I moved back in. And I have to do all these things now if I'm going to live with him. You know, he gave me a list of, you will do this, 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 and this if you want to come back. And I agreed.
Just and so you were like, fuck, I already hated it here.
And when I moved back, then I was in the bedroom for like 3 days. Couldn't get out of bed, just in bed, hating myself, hating my life. And I got on, 3 different medications, a sleep aid, mood stabilizer, and an anxiety.
That's when you were fucking space cadet. That's when I would come in. You'd be like, come inside and check so I can check on you in 2 hours. You go play outside and just run it. I'm still alive. This was the 90s. And then she'd be like, okay, good. And then I'd go back to playing and I would come inside and she was in bed like this. And I was like, hey mom. And she was like, oh, hello. And I was like,
that happened one time.
Yeah, it did. It was one time. And then I think you realized that was the wrong dose.
Well, the doctor said, take one of these as needed. And so I thought I could just take it as needed. And I'm having anxiety. I took the pill. The anxiety wasn't going away. I took another pill half an hour later.
This is like if you've ever tried weed gummies. And you got to metabolize it. It's 30 to 45 minutes before it hits. But you get to the 25-minute mark and you're like, this ain't shit. This gummy ain't shit. And so you take another one. And then you're super fucking high. And you're like, oh, I should have waited.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I literally wasn't trying to overdose myself. I literally thought I could just take as many as I needed until they started to work. And Courtney said, So apparently I was in my bed and she came in the room.
She was just like,
and the pillow.
I think she was tripping.
The pillow was over my head. And she said the pillow was kind of moving. And she took the pillow off my head and I was just going like this with my head back and forth. And I had no idea of any of this. I was totally tripping.
I was like 8.
I was out of it.
I was like Harvey's age.
And I told my doctor what happened and he was like, well, what did you take? And I told him and he was like, shocked.
It's like, why would you take that much? And you were like, You said, and I quote, take as needed. Not my fault that you don't understand how fucking anxious I am.
So then we got that straightened out. But it took about 3 months for everything to kick in. And then we moved in with my mom. And that was like a little buffer. And then I never was on my own because we moved.
We went from mom to Chris's.
We went from mom to Chris's. And
we went from Chris's back to dad's and then back to Chris's.
Yes. I have never been on my own for more than 2 hours.
But you know what?
I'm 52.
It's maybe experiencing all of that in my life that when I knew that it was time to leave in my marriage, that I had some perspective about like, if you're going to go, you fucking go. Like you either stay and commit and fix, or you go and you're done. But none of this like coming, going, I don't know. Maybe it's because I had done the back and forth and like watching like third party perspective, you know? Maybe it helped me a little.
I probably, and you come from crumbs and you had Dorothy who her husband died and she was on her own the rest of her life till the day she died.
Yeah, this is true.
That's
she said, I don't need no man.
Grandma Jepson.
And same with my grandma Ann. That marriage just wasn't great. They never got divorced, but they stopped living together and they just like lived their own separate lives because it like mutually benefited the both of them.
Yeah, they each had their own
married.
house.
But yeah, like they were like dating other people and doing their own thing. But every time a guy was like, I'd like you to move in with me and I'd like to take this to the next level, my grandma was like, skirt. No, that's not what this was. I wanted dick and I wanted like you to go home. And yeah, and I am crumb. And when crumbs are like, I'm done, we're done. Well done. Forking you. Done. We are not an indecisive bunch.
Yeah, no. And you don't need a significant other. Sisters be doing it for themselves in that family.
I'd like a significant other, but no, I
don't
don't need one.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're going to have to like bring something to my life that makes you worth keeping around because otherwise I don't need you around.
I know. And see, I need a Prince Charming. And that's what Chris was for me.
Oh, that would gag me. If somebody was like, look, you already know how that would go. That's how every good, decent guy that I've tried to date has been. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Like, that makes me hate you faster. I could help. I'm going to stop you right there. Did I ask for help? No, but you were literally drowning. Literally. So I thought maybe I'll figure it the fuck out. Just the other day, I get my night sweats and I was dehydrated. And he was like, I said something like, God, I need a fucking Gatorade. Like, my head hurts. And he was like, do you want me to bring you some? And I was like, no. I can get myself a Gatorade. And I was like, also, I will not ask you for help unless I'm quite literally dying. And he was like, oh, well, I get that. I'm like that. And I was like, no, it's to the point where, like, if I call my mom and I'm like, I'm not feeling too well, she just calls 911 because she knows that I don't call her unless it's already so bad that it's far past the point.
Exactly. I'm usually the one like, don't you think we should call 911? She was like, hell no, that costs money.
Yeah, I wouldn't let the paramedics take me to that. I was like, no. I was like, they checked my blood. My blood pressure was fine. My heart rate was fine. I regained consciousness. I was like, no, I'll drive myself. And they were like, we could just take you. I was like, up until this point, you had to come and you had to check my blood pressure. Have I incurred a bill? And they were like, no. And I was like, but if I get in the ambulance and you take me, and they're like, yeah, then you'll incur a bill. And I was like, thank you for your time.
Pretty much.
I'm fine. You just told me I was fine. I'm not gonna get like a fun wee-woo ride for no reason. So I'm very difficult. I know that.
Self-awareness is a good thing.
Self-awareness is great. It doesn't make you any less difficult.
You know what? I just saw a thing. I don't remember what I was watching it on, but I think it was YouTube. Um, the higher your intelligence, the more likely you are to have a mental illness. Not like a bad thing, but like a depression, anxiety.
That tracks.
The higher your intelligence, the more aware you are of everything that could go wrong or everything that did go wrong. And because you analyze things. So you're better off being not smart.
I've been saying that since I was like, do you remember me being like 8 and 9 and coming home and getting like a bad grade, and you and Dad would be like, well, you're grounded. And I'd be like, this is bullshit. And you guys would be like, we know you're smarter than this. Like, you obviously were just goofing off and not paying attention. And I would cry and I would go, I messed up. Like, I should have not shown you guys how smart I was. I should have played it a little low key instead of bragging about how smart I was and like getting myself on the advanced spectrum, because now you guys expect all this shit from me. I can't have a bad day. And Dad would just laugh and be like, yeah, well, it's too late. I already know you're smart, so do better.
It's got to be your dad, because I don't remember ever.
You don't remember having that conversation? Then it was Dad.
I feel like,
I'd be like, this
first of
isn't
all,
fair.
I don't think you ever did do bad that I was aware of. Second of all, I went from a straight A to a D student, and I would have been like,
it was probably right after you guys got divorced, because I was staying with Dad Monday through Friday because he was in the school district and I got the bus from his house. And Clay was too young for school and you were at Grandma's and I was living at Dad's during the week and stuff. The schedule flip-flopped a little bit there. There were times where you were driving me to school. There were times where I was just living with Dad.
he had you, my schedule was Thursday through Sunday. So he had you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and half of Sunday. And then I picked you up Sunday night and had you until...
There were times where I lived with Dad Monday through Friday because I was getting him up for work, and I would get myself up at 6 and then I would go make coffee for him. And then I would start
That would be like
waking him
Thursdays
up.
and Fridays.
I would start waking him up.
Yeah, that would be Thursdays and Fridays. Because I pretty much had you when I could have you, because it was hard on me to not have you
I'm
guys.
sure.
It was hell. There was no way that I was just like, yeah, just let them stay there. There was no way of that. I know I had you except for when I was in the hospital.
Well, it wasn't when we were living with Chris.
That's when we were living with Chris.
And I feel like I came home right after that anyways.
Okay.
I feel like I wasn't away from you that long when that happened. But
well, there was time I was in the hospital when we were living with your dad. After we had moved out of Chris's and I was living in your bedroom at your dad's.
Time. Yeah, it was a different time.
And I went to the hospital for 2 weeks.
That time was a blur. That was there was a lot going on.
I'm sure it was traumatic.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was very traumatic. Yeah.
Living in the same house as you, my dad, and his new girlfriend in a very, very, very tiny house.
Yeah, I had my bedroom in...
You were in our bedroom?
The bedroom with Courtney and Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great times.
Should we talk about the case?
We should talk about the case.
We're getting into subjects that are bumming me out.
Don't be bummed. Everything happens for a reason, Mom, or whatever they say. We made it.
We did.
We made it through.
Cheers.
Cheers to making it through.
Okay.
Now it's all just, what's the word I'm looking for? Fuel for my stand-up routine.
Okay. I thought you were going to say water under the bridge or something like that. But
we will burn that bridge when we get to it.
She said fuel for my stand-up routine.
Now it's all just trauma that I can laugh about.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we're fine. Once I can make it funny.
Let's talk about this case. This is a good one.
Okay.
It's really good. So viewer discretion.
VD.
We are talking about, there's going to be some child stuff. It's very sad, and There's going to be some death, and I I have a hard time with these viewer discretions. I don't know what the hell to say. If you don't want to watch scary things that are crime related with children and people, go to a different channel.
I think we just have to say if it's like this, like the heavy hitters. This one's particularly about kids. I think you always have to say if there's any like essay involved, because like anything that might trigger.
Well,
Because maybe you love true crime,
this has
but
some
if it has
triggers.
to do with a kid, you're like, oh, I just can't watch that one. But if it's a grown adult or like that's fine. And I can understand like trigger. Like some days I'm just not in the mood for certain things.
I guess I'm just not.
I think it's stupid too. We've talked about this on so many of our episodes. Like it's called a true crime podcast. What the fuck am I warning you about? Hey, we're talking about crime.
Right. Well, I get it, I guess. That makes
sense. But like
sense.
crime is different because like
there
robbing a bank is not at all the same as like
it's not as disturbing.
Kidnapping and like attacking a woman and
right. There's levels of disturbia.
Some people might want to hear about bank robbery, but might not want anything to do with sexual assault.
That could be. Okay.
I get it. It's not that like I don't get it, but
all right. Well, that was the viewer discretion.
There's your VD for the day.
This is like one of those Lifetime movies, and it stars Valerie Bertinelli, but it's like a true crime. She does like a true crime, like the other one we did on what was her name? The girl whose husband beat her in front of the police.
Oh yes, yeah.
I forget her name, but
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, yes. This is like that. So they made a TV movie about this woman's life. Her name is Laurie Dann.
Okay.
So I think they changed her name for the movie, though. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. I did watch the movie. It was good. Because I love Valerie Bertinelli. Do you know who she is?
No, I'll Google it. Probably.
Well, she was in a TV show as a young girl, and then she married Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, Valerie Bertinelli.
She's just
Oh, yeah.
She was America's
she's on The
sweetheart.
View.
Oh, she's on The View now?
Isn't that what that show is that she's on?
I don't know. I don't know anything she does today.
Yeah, she's maybe it's not The View. She's on something like I recognized her face right away.
Okay.
Oh, this is them when they were young?
Yeah.
I didn't know that she was like a thing when she was young.
She was in a show, I forget what it was called, but she was like a teenager in the show, and it was a single mom with 2 girls.
Okay.
And the other girl was one of the daughters of the mamas.
Time?
Yeah, one day at a time. The other girl was Michelle Phillips. She was the daughter of the mama and the papa.
Okay.
The people that sing All the Leaves Are Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe her name wasn't Michelle Phillips. Something.
I feel like I watched this movie called In a Child's Name that had her, because I've seen her in some of these, because I've been watching a shitload of these.
She is in a lot of.
Oh, yeah. It's the one where her sister, isn't it? Yes. I did watch this. She plays the sister of a victim of domestic violence. The husband takes the chick on a honeymoon and beats the shit out of her on a honeymoon in another country. And the sister, which is Valerie Bertinelli, and the father have to go like collect her. And it's got a young, super duper young Elliot Stabler, Christopher Milani.
I don't know who any of those people are.
How do you not know who fucking Elliot Stabler is? Just never. I don't get you, woman. But anyways, I do like she's in a lot of these like made for TV movies. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Okay. Well, this girl, Laurie Dann, she was born January of 1958 in Chicago. And she was raised in an affluent North Shore suburb. Her family was financially comfortable. Her father was a successful businessman. She attended private school growing up.
Okay.
She graduated from New Trier High School in Winnetka. It was a well-regarded public high school. Her former classmates described her as socially awkward, isolated, and eager for acceptance.
Okay.
She was a good-looking girl, but in that girl next door way. So not like overly sexy or anything. Just that girl next door.
Just naturally beautiful.
Beautiful. She attended the University of Arizona briefly, but did not complete a degree. And by her early adulthood, The people that knew her described her as increasingly paranoid, difficult maintaining friendships, and obsessive behaviors.
Difficulty maintaining friendships.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I meant.
Difficult. You just read that like a robot, like you went into robot mode.
Difficult maintaining friendships. She had difficulty maintaining friendships, and she had obsessive behaviors.
Okay, so something's going on with her. Um, it sounds like it started when she was younger, like kind of socially awkward bit.
Yes, she definitely obviously felt singled out or did not mesh with the bunch,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
So in the early 80s, she married Joseph Dann, who was a Chicago attorney, and they lived in Chicago's North Shore suburbs. But the marriage was described as strained and volatile almost from the get-go.
Okay.
It was kind of a whirlwind romance, and it progressed very quickly. I think before Joseph had a chance to,
See that she was kind of not stable.
yes,
Okay.
because she was very, like I said, she looked like the girl next door. She seemed like she had her life together.
Her family seemed normal enough.
Yes. You just had to get to know her a little bit, and then you could start seeing some of these
Signs.
red flags.
Yeah.
So in 1983, Laurie attacked him while he was asleep. She stabbed him in the chest with an ice pick.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He survived the attack. He didn't even know what was happening. She just stabbed him, and he wakes up and nobody's there. You know, she just stabbed him and then took off. So,
Ah! He just runs away.
she was arrested and charged with attempted murder, but her husband reduced the charges. There was a court-ordered psychiatric treatment that went on, and then she got probation instead of prison. But they divorced in 1985. So, but they had been separated for a while.
Okay.
But
He was like, something's wrong with you.
yeah, he loved her very much. But
Well, it sounds like it. Yeah, because otherwise he'd have been like, go to fucking jail.
so after that, she was hospitalized multiple times in the 80s for psychiatric care. Family members reportedly attempted to get her help because her behavior just started to escalate after that, after her marriage fell apart. And despite repeated instability, she ended up being on her own by 1988. She was living on her own. Are you freezing? Look
I'm
at you.
so
I'm like,
fucking
I'm
cold.
so hot.
Touch my hand. Your fingers honestly aren't that much
I'm
warmer than mine.
colder than you are, but I'm loving it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I
it's
think this
fucking
hand is
cold.
like frozen.
Yeah, your hands are cold. Your hands are cold just like
You think
mine.
your hands are cold? They feel warm to me.
No.
Your
they're
hands feel warm to
freezing.
me.
My toes are popsicles down there.
Oh my gosh.
This is hell.
Sorry.
Frozen over.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I can look at me bundling.
Okay.
I'm happy bundled girl.
Thank you.
Okay, so she is just absolutely losing her shit.
She's unraveling.
Sounds like she has like schizophrenia. Or
Doesn't it?
yeah.
Yes. So, okay, she held various short-term jobs in retail and administrative roles, but she'd never maintained steady long-term employment. So she lived intermittently with her family or with her husband after the divorce, and then on her own for a little bit of time. But during that time period, she began displaying very alarming behavior, such as fabricating stories, harassing acquaintances, filing false reports with the police, and impulsive behavior.
Maybe they didn't seem false to her.
They didn't.
They seemed really real to her.
They did.
Like the leprechauns were going to get her.
So,
Something.
all right, well, for instance, the fabricated stories. After her divorce in 1985, people in her North Shore social circle reported that she claimed to be the victim of conspiracies involving neighbors and acquaintances. Told people she was being stalked or targeted, but there was no evidence to support that.
Okay.
And she reported elaborate accusations about acquaintances harming her or plotting against her. So she made repeated false allegations that others were trying to damage her reputation as well. And the stories were described by the people who knew her as increasingly paranoid, grandiose, and detached from reality.
Yeah, she sounds fucking schizophrenic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the harassing behavior. Acquaintances later told people she had made repeated unwanted phone calls to people that she fixated on. So in the movie, I don't know because it didn't go into who it was. I tried to find out, but I didn't. But in the movie, it's her sister-in-law, her husband's sister and his family.
Okay.
And she's calling and hanging up or calling and saying um, crazy things and then hanging up. So that kind of thing. She showed up uninvited at people's homes. She filed police complaints against people she believed were conspiring against her. She contacted employers or family members of people she was upset with. And she attempted to insert herself into social groups where she was not welcome. There were also reports that she became obsessively attached to certain people and created escalating interpersonal conflicts with her social circle. So during that time, family reportedly sought psychiatric treatment for her many times. And sometimes she would get it and sometimes she wouldn't.
Yeah, if you don't stick with it, it's doesn't do anything.
Right.
She sounds like a lot of fun to be around.
Oh my gosh, what a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was hospitalized multiple times in the 80s, and diagnoses reported included severe personality disorder traits and paranoia. Nobody actually diagnosed her as schizophrenic, but I think that's because she just didn't go long enough to get that kind of a diagnosis.
Yeah.
You know?
Could be.
So, because everything about her sounds schizophrenic.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe it was just.
Like she's having paranoid delusions and.
Right. Maybe it was just severe bipolar, where she was manic and I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Right.
I mean, if you watch the movie, there's some crazy stuff. I don't know if they were
dramatizing
or if it
how
really happened.
Accurate it was, yeah.
So, okay. On May 20th, 1988. So this is 3 years after her divorce.
Okay.
Laurie Dann prepared and packaged poisoned food items at her home. Then she hand-delivered or mailed the contaminated items to multiple locations. She targeted acquaintances and institutions. The items reported to have been contaminated included juice boxes, Rice Krispie treats, milk, and packaged snack foods.
Who the fuck is sending milk?
I know. Well, like I said, some of them were hand-delivered.
Some were hand-delivered. Here's some milk. I'll tell you, if you ever hand-deliver me milk, I'm calling the cops right then. Because that's like your first fucking sign that something's wrong.
Right.
But it sounds like if they were acquaintances and they knew anything about her, I don't think I'd be eating anything.
Well, like I said, she could pull off, and she looked kind of angelic. I mean,
and I love a Rice Krispie treat. But from her, I think I'd be like,
she could pull off. She was babysitting for people. That's what I'm saying. She could pull off normal. It took some time for the weirdness to show up. So, yeah, she knew.
You a juice box and some milk. Thought you might like to mix them together.
She knew how to get by or appear normal, if that makes sense.
It wasn't like a delicious. She's a grown woman and she's not bringing you a meat and cheese tray. She's bringing you crackers and milk. What are you, 5? Was she poisoning children? I brought you a juice box and a Rice Krispie treat. What is this, snack time for kindergarten? Like, that's such a weird.
I know.
Everything that you're saying is weird.
All right. The poisoned items were sent or delivered to families she had previously babysat for, acquaintances in the North Shore area, and Northwestern University fraternities, as well as her psychiatrist and her ex-husband.
She really got him.
So some of them reported it. Okay.
The fraternities were like, fuck yeah, Rice Krispies. Everybody at the fraternity died for sure because
there were at least 2 other
questions.
states that she had mailed stuff to as well. So it wasn't all in the Chicago area.
Okay.
But yeah. The food and drinks were contaminated with arsenic. Some reports also reference lead being present.
The milk had white paint in it.
Toxicology testing was conducted by state crime labs after the items were recovered. At least 5 individuals were hospitalized after consuming the treats. So some people did. Like I said, those are the ones that probably trusted her that she had been getting over on.
Guaranteed it wasn't her ex. Or her psychologist.
Right.
They were like, yeah, bring a fucking bomb squad. I got a package from my ex.
I got a package from Laurie.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah.
You are exactly right on. So, all right.
I need Kevlar and I need chemical test kits. Like I need, it could be a fucking bomb of nails. It could be, oh yeah. No, there's just.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So nobody died. And
much to her dismay.
Exactly. Some items were discovered, though, before being consumed, preventing additional injuries. That would be like...
I was going to say, did they go on the nightly news like, oh, and if you happen to receive a candygram from Laurie Dann today, don't open it. Call 911 immediately. Like,
right.
They had to fucking put out a bolo for glasses of milk.
It was probably the carton boxes.
Oh, right,
milk.
Right.
You know, she's just shooting it full of
arsenic.
Her little arsenic concoction.
What if it was like a carton of milk, but like, you know how you used to have to like peel it open?
Yes.
And it's like already been peeled open and you're like, the fuck?
Right.
Ah. I don't know. Just what a weird thing for an adult woman to do.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying she might have had like severe bipolar and as well as, you know, obviously borderline personality traits, but
yeah, I'm thinking we've moved into like full bore like paranoid schizophrenia, like delusions, and she really thought like, I need to rid the world of these fraternities and my ex-husband.
My psychiatrist.
Fuck these people.
Yeah. Okay. That's not it. That's not the end.
I can't wait.
After the poisoning spree, Laurie attempted to set fire to an elementary school in Highland Park, Illinois. I don't know why I'm laughing. It just seems funny all of a sudden. The whole time I'm researching it, none of this was funny.
Because why was this woman on the street? After the poisoning.
Yeah, this is all on the same day. This is all.
Oh, okay.
She did all of this on the same day.
Okay. She just went. She had a spree day. Okay.
Yes.
So it was not preventable, except for the time where she stabbed her fucking husband in the night for no apparent reason, and probably should have just went away then.
Right.
Besides that, who could have seen this coming?
Nobody.
Not her family that's been knowing that she's been a fucking weirdo since high school. Or the colleges she dropped out of, the job she quit, the husband she tempted to fucking murder.
And all the times she'd been in psychiatric care.
And all of, like, the friend circles that she's fucking imploded. Like, who would have known that we ended up here after all of that?
Right.
So she tried to light. She hated kids too, apparently, because you're not sending milk and crackers and Rice Krispies and juice boxes to your old employers who you used to babysit for, thinking that the kids aren't going to be the first one. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't send bourbon and cigars.
Right.
You know,
You sent Rice Krispie treats.
you're sending shit that kids would want to eat. Like,
Yes.
and if it was debatable at all before that she had the forethought to think that it was going to be a kid, well, when she went to set the school on fire, we were like, no, she really genuinely just fucking hates children.
Yeah. So first, before she went to the elementary school, she picked up 2 kids that she had been babysitting under the pretense of going to a carnival. So she said, I'm going to a carnival. Can I take the kids? And they're like, sure. So she drove to the elementary school that morning. She left the 2 kids in the car while she attempted to start a fire inside the building in the hallway. The fire didn't spread significantly and caused limited damage, and no students were seriously injured.
Well, thank God she sucks at everything she does.
That's true, in the attempt. I know. But, like, what was her mind? What, you know?
If she had been, like, just a tad more stable, she could have really hurt a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like,
we're not done.
Thank God she was unstable enough.
We haven't finished the spree.
God.
After returning the 2 kids to their family's Highland Park home, she... She's just batshit crazy. And everything seems hilarious to me now. It's not as horrible. Oh my God. I can't talk. Let me compose myself. This is so unprofessional. I apologize.
You are so unprofessional.
She set their whole house on fire. Why is that funny? It's not. Oh my God.
Okay, she picked them up just to make them first-hand witnesses of her catching a school on fire. And then she was like, that was cool, right? Wait till you see this. And then she does it to their houses.
Oh my God, this is terrible. So the parents were inside the house and they had to escape through a basement window, but no one was killed in the fire.
She's the worst killer.
She is. Thank God. But no, we haven't finished yet. After she set fire to the Rush's house.
Like, what was the point of picking the kids up to begin with? Because you didn't need to take them along to catch the school on fire, and you didn't need to have them at all ever that day to catch their house on fire.
She just obviously was not thinking, in any kind of a normal state of mind. I mean,
no, like,
maybe she had planned to drive off a bridge with them and then just decided to go back and set their house on fire.
On second thought, I ought not. But
yeah. So, okay.
And what was she doing? Like, how do you catch a school on fire and it doesn't, like, it's full of kindling. Like, it's full of papers and books.
She did it in the hallway. So that's just all stone,
Okay.
floor and brick walls.
And how did she, like...
I know.
Well, 80s was so different. 80s was so fucking Wild West, dude. It just was, what a time. She could have walked in with a lit cigarette into the school, just...
Yeah.
And then, like, threw it on the ground and walked out, and no one would have known. Like,
Yeah, people were
like
still
today.
expecting you to just follow rules with no enforcement.
It's not like today where you got to get buzzed the fuck in.
Right.
No. Even in the night, like, even when I was in school, buzzers didn't start until...
Yeah.
Like, I was a senior. And
Right.
Columbine was years before that,
Yes.
like 7 years before that or something like that. So, um, yeah, it was just a very different time.
All right. After she set fire to their house, she drove to Winnetka, Illinois. It was about 11 a.m. at this time.
Oh, she had a busy morning.
I know,
Holy
right?
shit.
She entered the Hubbard Woods Elementary School. This is a different elementary school, armed with multiple handguns. She had a 22 caliber Beretta and a 32 caliber Smith and Wesson, as well as ammunition.
Where did she get guns from?
Yeah, like I said, she could appear as normal. And when they say, "Have you ever been in?
Convicted of anything? Nope, he didn't press charges.
Do you have any mental illness?" Nope.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. So yeah, she got guns. She had legally purchased these in prior years. So while she was in the building, she shot a young boy in the hallway restroom area, but he survived his injuries. Then she went right into a second grade classroom and without warning just opened fire on everybody.
What was her beef with children?
I don't know. Like I said, had some kind of fixation.
Yes, that's wild.
And if you look at her, she looks like the one you'd want to hire to be
Around your children.
around your children. She just looks like, she kind of reminds me of, did you ever, well, yeah, of course you've seen The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
The one Ali Sheedy plays where she's all dark with the dark eyeliner and everything.
Yeah.
And then after...
But they give her the beautification with her, like her little hair tie up.
Yes, that's what Laurie Dann looks like. The
Okay.
beautification side of her. You know, just very angelic and innocent and, you know, no red flags to look at.
Well, most people, like, I don't know. Delusions are delusional. That's why they're, like, I get that. But, like, and I'm sure there is for her, we just don't know it yet. But usually there's a where did that come from moment. Like, you get, like, after 9/11, people who were paranoid schizophrenic started getting delusions about anybody that looked Muslim or wore hijab. Or,
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean? Like there's like some sort of a trigger point that like starts and then like a snowball effect of like roping everything in, even though that's not appropriate. You know what I mean? Or, you're abused by your father growing up, and so you have a thing about older men and you hate men. Or you like there's usually like some like, and it still makes it wrong because you're like this person had nothing to do with this other thing.
Right.
But like at least I see how you and your warped mind got there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not justified, but I can at least see a path. So I'm just wondering like what's her path to like
No, she was just literally
hating fucking children.
I'm pretty sure she was just out of it.
Did she have some delusion that like children were like actually like aliens who were here to like take over? You know what I mean? Like what was it? There had to be a thing.
Well, in the movie, they made it that she was trying to injure her sister-in-law's kids. So they made the sister-in-law the target of like her phone call harassment. And it was just a way because the sister-in-law and her husband were like warning her husband.
She thought they were enemies of hers.
They were enemies. Yeah. So she was going after their kids at the school. But when I researched that to see if it was actual, I couldn't find that there was any targeted person. Okay. So we don't know. But and then they did the same thing with the two kids that she had picked up. Earlier they had made the mother say, yeah, we're letting you go because my niece moved into town and she's going to start babysitting. So they made it like that's why she picked the kids up and took them and fed them snacks. She made them the ones that had gotten the snacks.
Okay.
So that's how they tied that together. But in reality, I couldn't find that any of that was not like more than dramatization. She thought
it was kids' fault that she couldn't keep a job. Like, right. Like, I just want to know, like.
I just think she was delusional.
Usually even when it doesn't make sense to us, it's like, right, like, Like, what the fuck are you thinking? You know, like usually to them, there's some sort of a pathway there that made sense to them in their warped mind.
I mean, it's like
Like,
that guy that killed Lennon. I mean, he just read a book and became delusional over it.
okay, but that made sense. He hated people that he thought were um
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Phony.
phony people. He
Mhm.
hated people that were like preaching to you but not living by their word, and he felt that Lennon embodied that. Is that psychotic? Yeah, but can I draw a line from
Oh,
like
okay.
like how we got there? Yeah. In
Okay.
his warp, like if I put myself in a warp spot, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get why you thought he was phony. You thought that he fit the bill of this person that you found to be an enemy, and that you wanted to take him down to show people like don't be phony, or this
So
is
what
what
was
happens to
Laurie
you. So what
Dan's
was Laurie's like?
trigger?
What did
I don't know.
children ever fucking do to
We
her?
don't know.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they portray her parents as the people that are sliding it under the rug. They're not admitting there's anything wrong to other people about it.
Somewhat enabling her.
So, probably worried about social stigma.
I'm sure.
So, anyways, unfortunately, one child died in the shooting.
Again, it's miraculous at this point that we have one injured and one dead and 5 sick from poison, but only one dead so far. She's been inside of 2 different schools. She sent shit to across state lines to multiple different people and fraternities. I mean, in a psychologist's office, I mean, that's multiple people could have access to that. It's kind of fucking miraculous
Yeah.
that you take
More
a gun
people.
into a school and it's actually pretty easy to very quickly kill more than one person.
Yeah.
Like, like.
Yeah. So his name was Nicholas Corwin. He was only 8 years old. And there were additional 5 other children who were shot and injured, but they all survived.
It's fucking insane.
The teachers and staff did react very quickly to protect the students, which I'm sure helped
Save lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so now she just fled the scene and she's on foot. She entered the nearby home of the Andrew family. So she's knocking on the door frantically. And they open the door and she claimed
She
that
said, "Let me in. There was just a shooting nearby." And then she gets in. She was like, "And I was the shooter."
no, she said she had been attacked and needed help. So they let her inside to use the phone and help her.
They're like, "Oh my God." And she's like, "What? I told you there was a shooting." She's like, "What are you confused about? I was very forthcoming with you."
She ended up holding the family members hostage at gunpoint. But police knew she was there, surrounded the residence. I think the mother was let out. So the mother
Somebody got out. But.
Yeah. Philip Andrew was the son, and he was only 20 years old. She shot him in the chest, but he was able to escape the home after he was shot. And the police established a perimeter around the home. They attempted to negotiate, like the negotiators were calling, but she wouldn't answer the phone. They're on the loudspeaker and
Right.
She's not doing anything. The standoff lasted several hours, but then police started to inch closer to the residence and Laurie shot herself and she died at the scene.
Can't say that I'm upset.
Philip survived the shooting after emergency surgery, but the bullet was only inches from his heart. So again.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, the worst killer in history.
Yeah.
Because she had her hands on arsenic. She had weapons and ammunition, and we only got one dead.
One dead. The little boy. Yeah.
Which is a fucking tragedy. One too many. It's a fucking tragedy. But.
Right.
She had all of the things necessary for a fucking massacre.
Could have been if she'd have been more with it, like you said, but she was just out of her mind. Just completely out of her mind.
What a fucking case. Yeah, I'd love to know more about like her psychological, like how we got there, you know?
I know.
Kids too. I feel like that's so odd. First of all,
Yeah.
being a woman, I feel
Yeah.
like you hear about women hurting kids less, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then that time era, like that time frame, that wasn't something that, there wasn't like school shootings wasn't like it is now where it's like every week that happens.
Right.
That's just yeah, that's odd. Everything about that case is odd. What a fucking loony bird.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to watch the movie.
Yeah, well, I will now.
I can't remember what it's called. You have to search it.
I
Search.
think I saw it already on
Oh,
here.
okay.
I think
Okay.
it's something Innocence.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It was a Murder of Innocence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the second one on there is in a child's name, which is it that one you
That,
should watch. The one about the sister's murder
yeah,
is
I
really good.
will.
So
I think I watched Murder of Innocence on Prime.
okay,
I
I'll
think that's
click
where
on
it
it and
is.
see what it's streaming on.
Okay. Well,
But what a what
that's our
a
story today.
what a wacky one. What a fucking insane day in history.
Yeah, that poor little boy who died. If you stayed this
Well,
long,
and the kids that got shot that lived.
well,
The
yeah.
trauma that,
Yeah,
the fear and everybody involved, everybody at the school that day probably was never quite the same, you know?
I'm sure.
I mean, it's probably sucks to get mailed poison and you probably have your own kind of trauma in a way, but one school almost gets burnt.
Just so people know, I never eat anything that people give me.
Don't send my mom food.
Don't send me food. We had this really sweet neighbor. He was actually a pastor. This is in Navarre. And he used to bring over like a piece of pie or this honey that, you
Mom
know,
said no.
I would take it and say thank you, and then I would throw it out. You know, I never actually said, no, I'm sorry, I don't eat things from people, even pastors. I have
Yeah.
a very small trust.
Yeah. No, I
So
get that.
my mom used to put things in our food. That's why. Did you know that?
I probably at some point in my life have heard that story. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And then she would tell us about it after we ate it. So she said, yeah, I put birdseed in your food. So, and then one time she said, yeah, I put, the canned cat food. She put that in the meatloaf and yeah.
Well, if you're still here, what the fuck? Thanks for being with us. We hope that you enjoyed today's story and learned something. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe.
Yes, please do.
This is the place where we laugh about crimes against children. So subscribe for notifications about when
I
we
apologize for
post.
that. I feel bad about it having a hysterical breakdown.
No, but it's just like insane. Like just thinking about her actions that day and like tracing like
Yeah.
yeah, no, she's like absolutely batshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, guys.
So
Well, we'll see you next time.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.